All right, Mosa, you got a friend here who is wondering if this is kind of shady or not, or you're asking yourself, would you allow this with a girlfriend, correct?
Yes, pretty much. There was a couple at a barbecue I was at, and they got into an argument, and literally the entire barbecue turned into debate teams and decided which side of this they were on. So I'm curious, as if you were this person's significant other, like how would you handle this situation? So it started when the wife said that they weren't speaking for a couple months behind something that happened. So obviously everybody's interest peaked really fast.
Just not speaking about this one thing, or they just iced each other out for a couple of months?
Yeah, like ships passing in the night.
Oh, that's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So he was saying that he felt like she was being dramatic, and then that was when
that always goes well.
Oh, man. Yep. So she's like, oh, dramatic, huh? But then let's talk about what happened. So their dynamic is very interesting because they're together now. They live in a home. His ex, whom he has a child with and is divorced from, still lives in the same building as his family. So his mom and dad and sister and ex-wife all live in the same building because she is still renting from his mom. So because of that, not only do they still live in the same building, they still have a pretty close relationship. So she's pretty close to his sister and his mom still, even though they're no longer married.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So when they first met, they weren't married at this time. They were going to be married, but I guess they were engaged and it wasn't official yet. So his brother had a wedding. His brother got married. He didn't invite his current fiance to the wedding because he didn't feel as if she was close enough to the family yet for that invitation.
Even though she was a fiance, they weren't married, but they were engaged.
I guess for him, marriage is marriage. Like once we are married, you are officially family. And then that's when he started to bring her around as family and treat her as family.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, he felt like they weren't officially family yet. So he didn't, in his mind, he didn't not invite her because he was hiding anything. He just didn't see her as family yet.
Because they were engaged and not married.
Exactly.
Got it.
Now, at first, she was all right with that. Like, she wanted to go, but she was like, it wasn't that big of a deal for me to make a thing of it. I just let it be. But one day, they were all out and they were having a good time talking about whatever. And someone mentioned something about his ex being at the wedding.
Oof.
She was pissed immediately. Then it wasn't no longer about, okay, I was cool when I didn't go, but how I don't get an invite and your ex gets an invite. So when they got home, that was her first question to him. His mind was like, okay, wait, that has nothing to do with me because I didn't invite her. Right. So he feels like he didn't invite her himself. Mm-hmm. The brother, the sister did because they're still close.
Did he know that she was going to be there?
Yes.
Oh.
And he didn't tell her. He didn't bring it up because, I mean, why would he, right? He felt like that was just going to be an argument that he was trying to avoid. And in his mind, he didn't do anything wrong because he didn't invite her himself.
And he doesn't have any control over the invite list?
He doesn't.
But technically her beef is with the brother for not having invited her. And that's his future sister-in-law. It's weird that she didn't get an invite. Let's just go ahead and put that out there, okay? So her beef is with the brother, but there's also a side beef here. And that's with her now husband, who was her then fiance. He should have been like, nah, man, if you're going to invite my ex-wife, you got to invite my fiance. Like, he should have stuck up for her. And if he did and brother still said no, well, then he's in the clear. But if he didn't try to get her an invitation to the wedding, I'm not happy either.
So what is the fear? That he's at the wedding with the ex and they're going to somehow, some way hook up?
For me, like, it wouldn't be fear, like,
No.
oh, something's going to happen. To me, it's more of like, do you not care enough about me getting to come and hang out with you that you wouldn't stick up for me, that you wouldn't advocate for me? That's where I would come from. Like, it just would feel like you didn't care.
It feels disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
They're like, I agree with Abby. I don't have a fear here. I have a level of disrespect. Like, I'm your fiance. I'm not just a girl you've been dating for a month. And I get that that's the mother of your children. So that means that's the mother of your brother's niece and nephews. I get all that.
Bless you. Oh, it's so adorable. Oh, it's so adorable.
Comes
It's
in
like a
twos.
Disney princess.
Isn't it adorable?
So that my issue there is like, yeah, you should have stuck up for me, man.
I agree with you. I mean, he felt like he couldn't tell his brother what to do. That was his reasoning for not doing more. And he said he didn't want to go into it, but he did feel like there was a time in their engagement where they didn't think they were going to get married. So he just wasn't trying to do too much, I guess, in his mind. And that was his justification of, I didn't even know if we were still going that way. So I felt like it would be best if I just let my family have this moment until we decided to become family. And technically, she was more family than her at that time.
Damn.
I ain't saying he's right, but that was his justification.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.